Welcome to Yoga for Libra Signs. Hello, Libra family. Come to the top of your mat, bringing your feet together and gently inhaling as you soften your gaze or even close your eyes, breathing deeply, filling the body with breath, and exhaling, releasing gently, softening into the present moment, breathing and becoming aware of both sides of your body. And we're just going to rock forward, maybe with your eyes softly focused in front of you or closed, and back, forward and back. So the feet are together for this balancing posture. And we're rocking back on the heels and forward on the toes. And then we're going to rock side to side. And coming back into the axis of your being, the plumb line or core channel where Sushumna Nadi is, along the spine, and noticing how your body is naturally self-correcting, naturally coming into balance. Libra is the sign of the scales, depicted by the scales, this cardinal sign of balance, this beautiful masculine sign even, although we think of Libra as Lady Justice ruled by Venus, very feminine, actually a masculine cardinal energy that wants to assert itself in the world to create balance and harmony in the most beautifully aesthetic, symmetrical way possible. So of course, we're going to begin now with some balancing postures. Go ahead and root down through your left leg and bend your right knee, opening and externally rotating the knee towards the wall and reaching down and grabbing your ankle, gently placing it on your inner thigh. Careful not to dump out through the left hip. Tighten up here, or rather move the hip underneath you as you find your axis of your being, your plumb line. A focused drishti, a single pointed focus or gaze, is the secret to balance, as well as engaging the core and finding the axis of your being, as well as trusting in the natural desire or tendency of your body to self-correct and bring you back into balance. So working and leaning in with your body's natural inclination towards balance. And breathing here, maybe you want to bring the hands overhead or at the heart center as you wish. Finding a moment and feeling beauty in your body as you breathe here. Libra, ruled by Venus. Venus, the planet of love and pleasure, Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty, like Tripura Sundari. And then taking one last breath here and releasing the foot down. If you need to shake out your opposite leg, go for it. And then take a moment, soften the gaze, and just notice the difference between both sides. And then lifting up through the left knee, opening the left knee towards the wall, reaching down and placing the bottom of the left foot on the right inner thigh here, opening out through the left hip, tucking the tailbone down so the seat is underneath you rather than splaying out backwards or the hip out to the side, bringing your seat under you as much as possible and externally rotating, opening the hip and breathing here, finding your plumb line, core channel, bringing the hands to your heart center or wherever you like as you find a soft, gentle gaze. Libra is a very social sign and is the sign of partnerships, our long-term committed partnerships. So just noticing your balance here and how when you soften your gaze on a single point, it can really support you to find that moment. And even as things are seemingly still, they're always moving. It's secret. You look at a blade of grass with no wind blowing, and there's still the tiniest little bit of movement. So allowing for those little micro movements even, and just welcoming them as part of the process of balancing the scales. Definitely doesn't need to be perfect. And then releasing the leg down. We're just going to step out into a half moon here. If you want to arrive in your half moon, then you're welcome to come in from a warrior two and lift off, or feel free, grab a block here, and we are going to Just come with the right foot forward, and the back foot could maybe be parallel to the mat if you wanted to arrive. And just penduluming forward and stacking on the coronal plane. Here, imagining like you're sandwiched between two planes of glass. Unless you're claustrophobic, then definitely don't imagine that. And finding your drishti or gaze somewhere. And expanding your wingspan, reaching down and reaching towards the ceiling. Taking a few breaths here. Woo! Wobbling is wonderful, falling is fabulous. Just falling out is all right. And let's come into the second side. Just noticing how when the mind wavers, the balance goes, right? So staying present in the moment, staying anchored on the breath, rooting down through the left foot, and then penduluming, like just allowing the weight of your upper body to bring you down into this posture, stacking the hips, imagining yourself on this coronal plane, flexing through the foot, rooting down, maybe using your block, finding your drishti, or your gaze, not there. And a few breaths here. And then just releasing, taking a moment, shaking it out. So we're going to take this into a figure 4, lifting up the right knee. The left foot's going to ground down. Imagine your foot rooting down through all 4 corners of the feet. Find your breath, focus your gaze softly on a single point, and then we're just going to bring the back of the right heel onto the quad, making a figure 4, and then we're balancing. You're already balancing. You're already in a posture. If you want to stay here, that is wonderful. There's so much work to be done there. Or perhaps sitting back here and bringing the hands together at the heart center, anjali, to help us balance, focusing the gaze, breathing deeper, and maybe even want to bring the left bicep to the top of the left foot. Breathing here. Woo! And then maybe you want to bring your hands to the ground and make a shelf. My elbows are hugging in towards each other, and maybe you want to just lift the back foot up. And maybe you want to even straighten the back leg. Or maybe you're not going to do any of that, and you're just going to stay, in your forward figure 4, like, and you're going to come up slowly and bring your foot down. Beautiful. Let's try it on the second side. It's easier than it looks because of the leverage you're getting, unless your hips are tight and you don't like to externally rotate the hips. And lifting up, rooting down through the right foot, finding your plumb line, your balance, and coming into this figure 4, bringing your seat underneath you, tucking your tailbone, and creating one nice long line through the center of your being, finding that line. With the power of your awareness, Libra is an air sign, an intellectual sign. Finding your breath, and then listening to any popping, which was great. And then bowing forward, hands at Anjali Mudra at the heart center. And I'm bringing the top of my right foot to my right. It's not my bicep, it's the back of my right arm. What is that called? And here. And then if I wanted to, I could just bring my hands down in this crow. So I have a shelf going where I have the shin on the back of the left arm, then I'm flexing my right foot pretty actively, and I'm just tipping forward and lifting my seat up, and then I can stretch my leg back if I want, or maybe I'm just going to stay here, and then come up and release the left foot down, taking a moment, finding your breath, closing down the eyes, bringing the feet together in a balancing posture. We don't usually associate standing as a balancing posture, but with the feet together it is. Samapada, the feet are together. This is Samapada. Sama meaning same or equal. So allowing for this foot position to really bring you into a sense of balance. As you find your breath and find balance between the inhale and the exhale. Beautiful, well done. Let's flow through to the floor, to the mat. Inhaling, opening the heart, tucking the tailbone, pressing the pubic bone forward if that resonates with you, and bringing the hands together through Anjali Mudra, releasing down. Gently lift and lengthen, shoulders over wrist, step back plank. Stay here for a moment. Take a few breaths in your plank pose. The crown reaches forward as the heels reach back, shoulders over wrists. Fingers are spread wide, the navel's hugging in. Gaze is a little bit in front of me. The neck is in one long line with the spine. And chaturanga. And drop the hips, open the heart, and press back into our downward facing dog. And then we're just going to lift the seat, look forward, and either step to a seat or come to the mat. Beautiful. We're going to take a nice twist here. So you can just bend the right knee and bring the left foot near the right hip, and the right foot is on the earth over in front of the left quad by the left hip here, as you can see. And the knee is facing up. And I'm gonna lift up on my right side, and I'm gonna lift up on my left side, and I'm gonna twist and look back over my right shoulder. I'm just going to anchor a little bit using my left elbow on my left quad or knee, front of my knee here, the thigh area. And I'm going to twist to one side and activating this right side of the body. In yoga, especially hatha yoga, we have the balancing of the right and left side, the right embodying the solar emissive, and the left embodying the lunar receptive. Of course, that might be different for you. In yoga, we have on the right side, or we're working with the right side being Pingala Nadi. So we have a core channel, the plumb line up through the axis of our being along the spine, Sushumna. So important to let the energy flow through Sushumna to center and find this beautiful equanimity and the middle path in Sushumna, merging everything together. And then on the right, we have a nadi called Pingala. It's the solar nadi, the emissive. So here, and even as you twist, looking over your right shoulder, you can activate your throat chakra, Vishuddha chakra, on the right side, the emissive side of Vishuddha, the center of ether element and mastery, refinement, communication. And just releasing, maybe taking a little counter moment here. And let's just switch over to the second side, bending both knees. The left foot is over my right foot is over my left hip. The left knee is facing up and my left foot is on the earth here. And I'm gonna sit up nice and tall. I'm gonna lift up with my right arm and twist and just anchor and leverage myself over using my right leg and twisting, looking over my left shoulder. Staying nice and long, lifted through my spine. Getting taller as I twist deeper. So getting taller with every inhale and deepening with the exhale. Beautiful, and maybe a little counter twist here. I forgot to say, activating the yin side of Vishuddha chakra on the left side, the receptive side of our ability to receive masterful art and mastery in our work, refined details, and in the way we communicate as well. Receiving communications that are really refined, like listening to classical music. And we're just going to release into Shavasana, our final resting pose. Surrendering, melting into the floor, finding your final resting pose, perhaps dimming the screen, and breathing as you release any conscious effort. And feeling a harmonious distribution of all the energy you cultivated today in your Libra practice through your whole being. Relaxing the head and face, the shoulders, the chest and rib cage, the stomach. Relaxing the hips and the legs, the feet. And feeling like a warm wave of relaxation coming over you from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. Releasing and allowing this final resting pose to create balance in your body, mind, connection. When you're ready, wiggling your fingers and your toes, I encourage you to take as much time as you possibly can in your Shavasana. And then when you're ready, reaching overhead, rolling over to one side, taking your time in this fetal posture to be nourished and held, deeply loved. And then pressing down to help yourself sit up here, getting long through the spine, feeling balanced on the left and right side. We're going to take a few breaths, do some pranayama here to balance the left and right side. So we're going to exhale completely, and take your clean hands, and you can use your middle finger and your ring finger and point them towards your third eye, and use your thumb and your pinky and your ring finger on the left. It's the index and the middle finger that you're going to use to point towards your third eye. So like this, or whatever works for you, don't overthink it. So here we're going to exhale completely, and we're going to plug the right nostril, and we're going to inhale left for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Close. I was closing the left nostril. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Closing the right nostril with the thumb. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale left. Hold at the top. Exhale right. Continuing. And when you've completed that round of this modified version of pranayama, coming to a moment of pause and bringing your hands to heart center, taking a moment to feel gratitude to yourself for engaging in this practice today and finding the beauty in balance through your yoga practice. If you loved this yoga class for Libra, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I've got lots more coming for you, beloveds. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.